I was a teacher, and insurance salesman came by, and I kind of liked what he was doing and was looking for more ways to make money. And he told me, he led me into the insurance industry. And the first day of work, he said, "This week you will join me at Toastmasters." And I came to Toastmasters, and that's how I got in Toastmasters. And the name of that person was Bernard Hanna. Within 1600, I was Sergeant at Arms in 1980, Educational Vice President in 1984, and in 1986 I was President of the organization. I also became later on an area governor, and I was Division Governor for all Toastmasters in the Bahamas in, I think it was 2000, 2001. The goals I accomplished during my tenure, I guess, well, the Toastmasters organization has its own inherent goals, what they call the DCP plan, in which the aims are to increase membership, to pay dues on time, manual completions, and that sort of a thing. And so they create those goals for us to achieve. And we can attain a level called President's Distinguished level at the end of the year. I did attain President's Distinguished, which was the highest level of achieving their goals. Toastmasters is an educational organization. The civic organizations like Rotary and Kiwanis, a Toastmaster can be one of those. But Toastmasters is about self-development, leadership development, learning public speaking, learning how to run meetings, and that sort of thing. And so there's a clear line of delineation between what the Toastmasters holds itself out there for. Without Toastmasters, there would be no Keith Major. By that I mean, I was very fortunate to have done very well in the insurance industry. I became the first vice president, Bahamian vice president of the then Imperial Life, now Kalina. I was also vice president here and in the Canadian office. I was vice president there. And I was also chairman of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation in 2005 to 2007. Without my Toastmaster training, I would have failed miserably at both of these jobs, because you're put in these positions and they say, well, go ahead and do. If you meet mess, clean it up. Well, how do you do it? Well, Toastmasters teaches you how to do minutes, how to run a meeting, how to pass something, how to evaluate situations, people, how to create opportunities and take advantage of it, how to negotiate. Without Toastmasters, they probably wouldn't have even attracted me to those positions. Knowing that a lot of people would rather die than speak publicly, and a lot of people don't think they need to be able to speak publicly. Everybody at some point have to defend themselves. You have to speak to your children or your husband. You have to show leadership. On your job, if somebody's wrongfully accusing you, you have to defend yourself. You have to stand up. And so Toastmasters is necessary to help you empty yourself, gain confidence, have the ability to express yourself and your true feelings. 3 levels of training you get in Toastmasters. As a member, you learn how to develop yourself. As a leader, you learn how to organize and lead and run departments. As the president, the buck stops here. That in itself is the ultimate training. The challenges facing our organization is the growth. There's been exponential growth. When I took over in 2001, we went from 12 to 13 clubs, and we thought it was phenomenal. Others who came behind me grew the organization to more than 50 clubs, and we now have 2 divisions here. And so there's exponential growth. And with that growth, there comes the need to manage this process, to use mentors to help develop the clubs, because without mentors, the clubs fail, or they don't reach the level they ought to. Insufficient mentors, because of the growth, is, in my opinion, is one of the biggest challenges. Well, my view is retrenched, but the higher organization won't do that. And also the second point of that is when Jamal Hepburn, who I took over from, what he used to do was send 2 people out to each club from our club, and have them join those clubs and have them build. And we probably have to do that kind of a thing. But we first of all have to acknowledge what are the strong clubs, what are the weak clubs. Don't just count we have 50 Toastmasters club. How many really do we have? And are they functioning? And are they working? And a lot of times they're not tied in with the human resource departments of companies. They see it as outside of it. It should be seen as going through this department in order to be promoted or whatever. Quite frankly, the Toastmasters organization does have a great social outreach. The problem with Toastmasters is we tend to become insular. We tend to praise ourselves and our own speeches within the club. So it's almost like staying in the university. You get good and you stay in the university all your life, as opposed to going out. And so what we have to do is go out and speak. People are always looking for speakers. All these youth groups and all these other areas, there are lots of need for speakers. If we go out and we speak and we develop and we attract people, then that is the social impact. That is the social impact that we can bring to bear in improving the state of our communities. And we must become less insular.